Hi, my name is Jonathan Karajanis, and welcome to my Did You Know video on Grade 10 History, and some of the most important lessons learned about Canada's surprisingly rich history. What the Grade 10 course on Canadian history taught me was about my proud nation, Canada, and all the people in it. I learned that we have a very strong, important people and nation that has not only shaped Canada to be what it is today, but the whole world to be better than it was before. What the main theme in this history course would have to be is finding the bigger picture in anything and looking for the small details to make up something that you never thought you would have seen. The main theme was discussed by doing research, looking for the significance in things, and having class discussions and talking with friends and peers. The focus that I covered on my essay was French and English relationships in Canada over the span of around 100 years. I chose this topic because it was something I knew very little about, and I only ever heard it from the English-speaking Canadian's perspective, which was a little bit biased in my opinion, and I wanted to learn what's really going on and what other people had to say about this. What I found most interesting about my topic was learning about the FLQ. I never knew that Canada had to face a problem with terrorism that had to do with separatism in Canada, because I never realized how extreme it got for some people. This was such a big surprise to me because I had never heard something like this. The most fascinating and interesting primary source that we use this course would have to be the one that we saw with the Hiroshima bombing, where we saw the victims and their stories of what happened during it. This was so interesting to hear because these people saw something and lived something that hopefully never happens again, but they went through it and they shared their stories with us. My most fascinating primary source would have to be a newspaper that was created during World War I in Quebec. It was created when a mob of people gathered together in Quebec to show their anger and rage toward the government for making them have to conscript to the army and being forced into the war that they did not want to have anything to do with. What I wanted the reader to understand and learn from my essay was that over all the decades and years, Canada has had conflicts and disputes between the French and the English-speaking Canadians, but we have all still managed to stay together and overcome the difficulties and stay as one proud nation. Skills that I have learned throughout the history course is being able to find a problem and find the source of it, so I'm able to overcome the problem and figure out why it happened and what happened. This helps me with friends and family to have disputes because I'm able to find the problem and fix it so that there's no further problem and everyone can live happy and healthy. I think history is a very valuable source and subject to take, no matter what kind of field of work you're going into. The reason for this is because you need to know why you are here, why things are the way they are, and why your life is set up the way it is because of the history of your country. History allows us to live our life without being blind to what actually went on before we were here. Thank you for listening to my Did You Know video, and I hope you learned something. As always, Jonathan.